Hey everyone, it is me, Dash, once again for another video from Divided Spectrum. So, I'm going to actually do something a little bit lighter today, not as serious, because of course, I've been covering the heavy political stuff, like stuff dealing with Jonathan Yaniv, or the recent El Paso or Dayton shootings, and the whole endless controversy surrounding video games. So today, I actually think I'd bring up something that is still relevant. It actually hits quite close to home. Um, I actually come from West Virginia, and I love the state and all, but one thing I think is a little bit of a problem, but then again, it's a problem everywhere, is that so many cops love to have power trips. Like, in my opinion, there are both good and bad cops. I have trust issues, sorta, but I'm not saying all cops are bad. I'm just saying that there are cops who are jackasses. And in the case of where I'm from, like the specific area I'm from, there are quite a bit. And I'm one to respect cops, but not if they have a reason for me not to like them. And what happened was a couple months ago, I saw this story that was actually supposed to be like controversy, and I kind of wish there was something done about it. Where this family, their dog wandered off their property, and uh, it wandered on this property that was owned by a cop, and the cop had free range chickens, and the dog was messing with the free range chickens, and that cop shot the dog and killed it. And I think that is highly wrong. I think that's a great abuse of power. Because the thing is, dogs can't help messing with chickens. Back when my dog was a pup, back in like 2014, he wandered up onto one of our neighbor's properties and messed with the rabbits. However, our neighbors did not try to shoot at Leo. What they did was they came down to my house, knocked on the door, they said, "Hey, your dog is kind of messing with our rabbits, and we don't particularly like that. Can you do something about it?" And of course we did. We abided that. And we really did respect them taking the time to come to us and talk to us about that. And so therefore, what we did was that whenever we weren't around to watch Leo, we made sure he didn't go up there. We didn't have electric shock collars because we just find it inhumane. But anyways, they took the time to let us know about the rabbits, because if they hadn't, they probably would have shot my dog, and I probably would have been very pissed off. I mean, wouldn't you if something inhumane happened to your own pet? The thing is, I love dogs. I love cats. I don't want anything bad to happen to them because I just I just really like animals. But this cop, it was also reported that this was the second time he had done something like that. And thing is, whenever people tried to confront him about it, he got a bit pissy, saying like, "Oh, he shouldn't have been terrorizing my chickens, or it was within my rights." With ever new laws coming in about animals, I think it should be that if you do that, you should be uh somehow given legal consequence for the injuring or killing of a pet. I mean, whenever you're going on hunts, that's different. But dogs are a popular pet. And of course, it's well known that people who own these pets and they were abuse them, they go to jail nowadays. And they even get put on a registry now, as according to recent laws. And I kind of did have this discussion with a person earlier, um, which it was talking about the leash law. And of course, the leash law is basically to prevent your dog from getting injured or to keep him safe and not cause any trouble. You gotta keep your dog on a leash if you're going off your property, which it's understandable to a certain degree. And whenever I was talking to them about this, like when I told them about the cop that shot a family's pet dog, they're like, "Well, if the dog was on a leash, he was well within his rights." I don't think you necessarily have a right to kill a dog just because it's messing with your chickens. It's either you put your chickens away, or there's a much easier way to handle this. Because you can easily tell the difference between a feral dog and a domestic dog. There's really no feral dogs in my area of West Virginia. I mean, you have the occasional stray cat, but they're surely not feral. But I really do think the leash laws need revising, saying that you should do this, but unless a dog is specifically attacking you or a pet, then you really don't have any right to shoot that dog or cat. If it's messing with chickens, it's just messing with chickens. Maybe put your chickens away instead of being an idiot. That's my whole deal. And I think that if that officer doesn't face some kind of consequence, like being suspended or forced to resign, then he's probably going to kill another dog. Because usually, whenever some people have that power trip or just don't learn, they do it again. That's stupidity. The difference between ignorance and stupidity is that ignorance, you don't know any better. Stupidity knows you know better, but you just continue to do it. Ignorance is like there is a dog on a property and it's barking its head off at you. You run. You don't know any better about that dog. But next time you come around after being told that it's a peaceful dog, if you continue to run away from it just because of the barks, then you're stupid. Even post workers have learned this. Because my dog, he's a big dog, but he is just one big friendly dog. He is not violent whatsoever. Like, he'll bark, but that's because he's basically our doorbell. he he'll bark at anyone really. But if you come up to him, he'll let you pet him. I mean, there's only one time whenever one of my friends came over, he kind of barked at him when he tried to pet him. I don't know what was up with that. It might have been because that guy was 6'5". Anyways, the thing is, people do learn. So you can't really judge off by the first thing. And I just hate to see the fact that there is a cop in my area that I live in who has murdered two innocent dogs just because they were messing with the chickens. Yeah, the chickens are your property and whatnot, but even the chickens were getting harmed. Maybe after the first time when you see it happening a second time, maybe it's not on the dogs, maybe it's on you. That's the whole deal. I just think it's entirely wrong to see people killing dogs for absolutely no reason. I mean, if a dog is attacking you, I can understand that out of self-defense, but other than that, I just see no other reason. The only other justifiable way is if you have to put a dog down to put it out of its misery from dying of some kind of cancer or disease or injury. Euthanization of animals, that kind of has a little bit of a moral justification, but there's really no justification if it's messing with your free-range chickens. Like, jeez, it's like having free-range pet birds and someone's cats come after them. It's utterly stupid. I do think West Virginia leash laws really need revising. Because I tried looking online to see what what the exact leash laws were, and all it says is to protect yourself from like being fined or getting complaints or to keep your animal safe from injury. Keep them on a leash whenever you go off your property. It doesn't say within that specific law that if a dog wanders onto your property and messes with your fucking chickens, that you get to kill it. It does not say that anywhere. So really, that cop killing the dog for messing with his chickens had really no justification. It's a bit of a loophole in that law because there's really no clarification. If we could extend into that law, if we could amend it so that an incident like that doesn't happen ever again, we might just be on the right track. Because I like the direction we're going with better treatment of animals. Because like I said, I'm all for better treatment of animals. Better treatment for dogs, better treatment for cats, turtles, you name it. Because After all, animals deserve to be treated as good as we treat ourselves. So I hope we can find some common ground there. Anyways, I'm gonna get off here. I am Dash out. I hope you enjoyed this video from Divided Spectrum. We'll see you next time.